I prefer roles in a compelling story. So when you're younger, I think you look for these showcase things that are great. But I always love when there's a really wonderful story and there's a really great role in the wonderful story. If it's a comedy, if it's a drama, it's like kind of like asking somebody if they like steak better than they like ice cream. Like you love them both, but you don't want to eat them all the time, except for ice cream. I eat ice cream all the time. But when the sport is masculine. I was a very impressionistic kid. I was like a sponge. I took pop culture in, television. I immediately started spitting impressions of TV characters back out, and it was the 70s, and so there was like 3 channels, and I was one of the channels for my family. I think that's when my family knew that, I think we have a performer here, and he's the only one in the family. And then, of course, my teachers would say, if he would just buckle down, so much energy. I shall attempt to lift my own weight, 170 pounds. I was in the 4th grade, and I lived in Bellows Falls, Vermont, and I went to school with Claudia Williams, who was the daughter of Red Sox Hall of Famer Ted Williams. And she was Alice in Alice in Wonderland, and it was a musical, and I got cast as the Cheshire Cat. So my grandparents came up, of course, not to see me, but to see Claudia Williams. But I had to sing this song, "'Twas Brillig," and I just owned it. It was like a bird found out it could fly is probably the closest feeling that I can, it's just when you know that something is right. And the great thing is that nobody in my family put a lid on it. I've been very fortunate to have the kind of parents and family that have been very encouraging all through my entire life, even when I said I wanted to do this for a living. I think that it's important for young people to have an outlet and to have people around them that believe in them. When I was a sophomore in high school, we moved back to Massachusetts. And when you move when you're a sophomore, it's really tough. And my mother noticed that I was a little remote, so she asked my guidance counselor to look into it. My guidance counselor, Mr. Plummer, sent out these feelers to all my teachers. My high school theater teacher, Mr. Hammond, wrote back, Scott is doing well. Is there a problem? And if so, how can I help? And that made a huge difference. Not only did he provide me with an opportunity to have an artistic outlet when I really needed one, but he was there in a profoundly human way. And my mom never forgot that, and neither did I. Well, the life of a working actor, it's interesting because I live with a working actor. My wife is an actor. And it's anxiety punctuated by either euphoria or disappointment. Because you might book a job, and it's that 5 minutes after you book that job that you're sort of on cloud 9, and then you realize it's always time to get back to work. There's always a show, there's always an audience, there's always a story to tell. There's always someone who can take over the role that you're playing, and getting a job is a privilege, and it's the exception, not the rule. So if you can find an artistic community that supports you and accepts you, then you've kind of won the lottery.
It's a big payoff. Guy wins 10 grand.
Ooh, genius.
I've been here in the Richmond community for 20 years, and when I came here, it was as kind of an itinerant actor moving through, and sort of what I realized that the people in the community, they really work at a high level. There are people that have come from larger markets or have come from Richmond, gone to larger markets, really gotten some chops, and then they came back. There's an energy here, and I think you know what I'm talking about. There's this creative energy that is permeating all of Central Virginia, whether it's music, whether it's theater, whether it's visual art, whether it's the restaurant scene, whether it's entrepreneurship. There's a creative sense here and a sense of possibility. I was cast as Sinatra opposite Renee Marie, who's an incredible world-renowned jazz recording artist. And of course, I've been a Sinatra fan and a fan of the Great American Songbook for years and years. So I created this sort of nickname, Mr. Showtime, that I think puts all the different aspects of what I do together. And I just sort of build myself as like a one-man Rat Pack. And so I connected with a friend of mine, Ryan Corbett, who runs the Westwood Music Club. And he and I have been working for about 10 years. And I love it because there's an audience for it. There is a yearning to experience these songs, and I love sharing them with people. If somebody has never seen me perform before, I'd like them to enjoy themselves. Just enjoy themselves. I mean, Joe DiMaggio always gave his 100% because he said that this might be the only time someone sees me play ball. Like, I don't have those words, so I'm going to use Joe's, even though he's a Yankee. You know, honestly, I've had so many incredible opportunities at Virginia Rep and several of the other theaters around the town that whatever's next I know is going to be fun and interesting. I just want to do good work, and I want to do it with people who are committed, and I also want to see other people succeed and be celebrated. Even if your name is above the marquee, there are so many other people supporting the storytelling that you find the really sort of profound moments are the moments when you connect with actors on stage, or maybe when you suggest somebody for a role and they audition for it and they get it, and all these other things that you never could have predicted that make an artistic life fulfilling.
Any way you look at it, I've got a world that swings.